Hello, 5th grade. Mrs. Johnson here. I'm so excited to be teaching you again today. Today we are going to be talking about, you guessed it, My Plate and the food groups. Now I know you're very familiar with these food groups and we've been talking about them for several years. We will be starting today with a fun experiment. This experiment has explosions, so we'll be heading outside to do this experiment. While we're doing this experiment, be thinking about the importance of nutrients and My Plate foods in your body. Let's get to our experiment and then we'll continue our lesson. For this experiment, we'll be trying different amounts of Mentos in Diet Coke. We'll see the effect of different amounts and how the explosions take place. We'll see how 12, 8, 4, 2, and 15 in a small amount affects the explosion. Be thinking of how My Plate foods impact your body and prevent you from getting sick. Now let's see some explosions. Hey, number 1. All right, next one.
That's cool. That's cool, guys. Wow. Next one.
I think it's pretty big.
I think that one was the biggest. That one was pretty small.
And this one. I'm sure you're very aware of this experiment and hopefully you still enjoyed watching things explode. Now, just like our Mentos bottles, we were able to see the more Mentos made the higher explosion. Why is this? More makes a bigger impact, right? Well, how does this apply to My Plate and eating healthy? Now we can see from the first soda bottle, just shaking does not make much of an explosion. When we add 1 Mentos, a little more, 2, a little more, and so on. The more Mentos, the more explosion, the bigger impact. This is the same thing with our bodies and preventing sickness and illness. We have My Plate as a tool to use to know what foods we should be eating and in what portions. Having too much Mentos and not enough Coke, there will be no explosion. Same thing with these food groups. Too much of these foods is also not very healthy or good for our bodies. If you think of what happens when you eat too many cherries in the summertime, diarrhea, right? Your body will try to send you messages to let you know if it needs more or hasn't had enough. Today we're going to be talking about what happens to our body if we don't have enough of these food groups. We're very lucky to live in a country where foods are fortified and essential vitamins are added into them. Although we have learned over the past years, and hopefully you're familiar with natural being the best choice. The more natural the food is, that means the less processing it has had taken place. Processed foods do not provide many nutrients for our bodies. In order for foods to stay long through the processing process, sugar, salt, grease, fat are added into these foods. This takes away the nutrient content and adds a lot of added processed chemicals and substances that do not provide our bodies with the nutrients and the health that it needs for a good, healthy, strong life. Keep in mind that you only have one body and it starts today. It starts taking care of your body and starting healthy habits. It may seem simple to make simple choices, to choose popcorn over chips or orange juice over soda, but simple changes and simple swaps can make a lifetime of difference. Your body today starts habits that will form and last over your lifetime. It can help prevent you from getting sick. It can prevent you from developing illnesses. It can even keep you at a healthy weight throughout your lifetime. These healthy habits start today, and they're as simple as the 5 food groups on My Plate. Hopefully over the summer you practice eating these 5 food groups. You practice eating them for breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks. Being mindful of your food will help your body to have the nutrients that it needs to grow and form and develop properly throughout your lifetime. Let's talk for a minute about the different foods and portion sizes that belong in these food groups. We talked earlier about having too little or too much of a food does not provide our bodies with the impact it needs to be healthy. If we have vegetables, right? Say you eat a carrot for lunch on Monday. Are you good for the rest of the week? Obviously not. Our body needs to have 3 cups of vegetables a day. If you remember our little hand signals that help us to remember these amounts, we do 3 fingers and pretend like they are a carrot in the ground. You simply put them in the ground, pull them out. Okay, 3 cups of vegetables is our goal to keep our bodies healthy and strong. Next, protein. Protein provides our bodies with amino acids. We talked last year about amino acids being similar to Legos. They're the building blocks of life. They help our hair to form, they help our nails and all of our body's cells to form and develop properly. Without protein, our muscles cannot form and our body will not be healthy. You see many deficiencies in your body if you don't have adequate amount of protein. Fruits and vegetables, same thing. They provide our bodies with a lot of vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K. These vitamins keep our body healthy, bless our bodies with immunity to prevent us from getting sick, and heals cuts and wounds from taking place, and helps them to heal quickly. These are very important nutrients that our body needs, and without them, you guessed it, more deficiencies and more bad symptoms that take place. The dairy food group is another food group that provides your body with nutrients. Nutrients it cannot get in other sources. Vitamin D provides our teeth and our bones with the nutrients to grow and be strong and healthy. This also prevents your body from developing a disease called osteoporosis, which can take place later in your life. Osteoporosis is a big word. It is a type of disease that makes your bones become brittle and very fragile. Simply tripping over a rock or a rug can result in a broken pelvis or broken bones. Osteoporosis is an awful disease that can be avoided if you intake the proper amount of vitamin D through the dairy foods. Eating healthy helps our bodies to have the nutrients they need to be strong and healthy and develop properly. Now let's look at some pictures to see what happens when your body does not have enough of these vitamins and nutrients. You will see quickly how important they are and hopefully encourage you to make healthier choices and healthier swaps next time you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack time. Vitamin C is so crucial for our bodies. We can find vitamin C in citrus foods and vegetables like broccoli and bell peppers. Vitamin C helps our body to combat sickness and heal wounds. This is super important for this time of year when sickness becomes very prevalent. Let's look at some pictures of what happens if your body does not have enough vitamin C. Gross, right? This sickness or disease is called scurvy. And scurvy takes place when your body does not have adequate amount of vitamin C. We've seen this in past history when pirates would sail across the seas. They would have potatoes and water, but no vitamin C. Without that vitamin C, they would develop this disease called scurvy. And this disease is still prevalent in our world today. We do not see this often in our country. We are lucky enough to have a country that fortifies foods and the FDA that watches foods that go out into your stores to help you get adequate amounts of these vitamins. But remember, natural sources are the best way to get vitamin C into your body. So prevent scurvy and focus on eating vitamin C your next time you eat. Maybe try eating a bell pepper for snack, orange juice with your breakfast. Simple swaps, simple changes can increase your vitamin C intake every day. What about not enough vitamin D? What do you think happens? If you think it's going to impact your bones and teeth, You're right. Vitamin D is crucial for our teeth and our bones, which are big, important parts of our bodies. We can get vitamin D from sunlight, which shows us the importance of going outside, getting exercise, and getting fresh air. Sunlight can help your body to develop and use vitamin D. Our body does not make vitamin D on its own, which is why we need to intake it. Let's look at some pictures of what happens when your body does not have enough vitamin D. Vitamin B provides our body with energy. Notice a food group similarity between these foods. Lots of meats, right? Now, meat comes from animals, and animals' bodies provide their own vitamin B. Our bodies, however, do not provide ourselves with vitamin B. So eating animals and protein sources provide our body with this energy. From the animals and fish that develop it naturally, when we consume them, we also intake that vitamin. There are lots of different types of B vitamins, and each of them work together to give our body energy. Let's look at some pictures of what happens when you don't have enough vitamin B. Vitamin A is our next vitamin we'll be talking about. Vitamin A obviously impacts our eyes. You can see that simply by our picture. Now we can see vitamin A comes from lots of vegetables and some fruits. You notice a similar color. There's a lot of greens and a lot of oranges. Now these foods impact our eyes, helping us to see, helping us our eyes to adjust well when we go from light to dark situations. Eye health is so important, and simply eating a couple carrots a day can give your body the vitamin A that it needs to be healthy. Let's look at some pictures of what happens when our body does not have enough vitamin A. Now our next vitamins, vitamin K and vitamin E, work together. Heart health and blood health. Obviously, there is some correspondence here. Our heart pumps blood throughout our body. Making healthy choices here, again, gives our body adequate amounts of these vitamins. We can see avocado and nuts, olive oils, spinach here, and lots of leafy green vegetables here. The darker the green, the more nutrients it has. If you've noticed some similarities, we've seen broccoli and we've seen spinach several times. These foods are considered to be superfoods, if you've heard that term before. Superfoods means they're loaded and packed with lots of nutrients, vitamins for our bodies to grow and be healthy. So trying to get these superfoods will help our bodies to be strong and, well, more healthy. Let's look at some pictures of what happens when our body has inadequate amounts of vitamin E and vitamin K. Hopefully I haven't grossed you out too much. I want you to see the importance of eating healthy. It seems like such a simple thing to do, but really it impacts our body for a lifetime. We only have one body, so taking care of it when you're young and setting healthy habits will impact you in the long term and all throughout your life. You can also be a good example to your family and your friends at home. Eating healthy is a great choice, and it can be made simply when you're in 5th grade and throughout your life. Start today to make healthier choices. Make healthier swaps. Instead of chips for lunch, try whole grain pretzels or whole grain crackers. Instead of a candy bar for snack, grab a string cheese or some yogurt. You can make these simple choices on your own at your house today. Make the choice to start now. Let's practice eating healthy by making a healthy recipe. I love baking and cooking, and making healthy choices helps my family to enjoy this as well. Here's a recipe for you to try at home. Hopefully these are ingredients you already have laying around the house. My favorite thing about cooking is you can make substitutions. If you don't have crackers, try tortillas or bread or pretzels. Be creative. have fun in the kitchen, and practice eating healthy today. Today we're going to be making a My Plate approved snack. These are called My Plate Stackers. They're similar to Lunchables if you've had those before. We will use all 5 food groups today. Our first dairy group will use cheese, and you can use any cheese you have around the house. Next we'll use a vegetable, and today I have spinach and cucumbers, but you can use any type of vegetables here. You could use tomatoes, you could use thinly sliced carrots, you could use lettuce, really anything would work here. For our protein, we'll be using meat. I have ham and turkey today, and you can use any kind, again, you have around the house. Another option you could use, thinly cracked nuts. You could even use peanut butter or almond butter. You really can be as creative as you'd like to be. For our fruit, we're going to be using grapes, and I'm just doing this off to the side, but you could be creative and use fruit into your mixture. Really, the possibilities are endless. For our grain today, we're going to be using crackers. I brought 2 crackers with me today, and I'll be using these weavable baked wheat crackers. Now the crackers I brought with me are made of whole grain, and remember, we can see whole grain by looking on the back at the ingredients. If the first ingredient says whole grain or whole wheat, you know that you've chosen a good cracker. All crackers will work. You could even try bread here or tortillas. Really, the possibilities are endless. I'm going to start today with 2 crackers on my plate, and we'll start stacking our stackers. I have cheese here, and I have this Colby Jack cheese, but cheddar's another really good one, or Swiss cheese. Remember, in our dairy lesson last year, we tried lots of different cheeses, so maybe you can be creative. Next, I'm going to pick a vegetable. I have cucumbers and I have spinach. I'm going to choose cucumbers today. I could even do both, I guess, if I was feeling really healthy. My cucumbers I'm going to slice in really, really thin slices. You don't want too thick of a piece of cucumber or vegetable. Tomatoes, again, you could slice thinly. You could also use carrots. Really, anything you want, slice them really thinly. And then I'm going to choose, let's do turkey today. You can buy these thin packages of lunch meat at the store. They're really inexpensive, less than $1 for a whole package. So I'll take out 1 piece and I'll fold it into 4 pieces to fit nicely on my cracker. Just like that. And then a handful of grapes to go on the side. Maybe. All right, and again, you can do any type of fruit here. A thin slice of orange wedge would give this a lot of taste if you wanted to try that on your stacker. All right, and then you eat. Simple enough. All 5 of our food groups on this plate. This is a great snack you can make after school when you're hungry. You could also take this and make it in your lunch for school. There's so many ways that you can make this work and make it so flavorful. Try this at home with your families. Practice eating healthy. We'll do a healthy exercise, and then we'll be done for the day. For your outdoor activity, we'll be playing a game called Planker Pillar. Maybe you've heard of this before. After we finish our lesson, you'll hop up and go outside with the PE teacher where you will form a line. Each person in the line will hold a plank position. This can be done on your arms or on your elbows. Really think of your shoulder being right over your wrist or right over your elbow if you're down on your elbows. Try to keep your back nice and sturdy and strong. This is similar to a push-up position. You want a lot of stability and strength. Think of squeezing your core and flexing your abs to be able to balance. For a modified version of this, you can go down on your knees. You will hold this plank position. All the way down the line, the last person in the line will be the planker pillar. They'll jump up and run to the end of the line, going back in their plank position. Once they are in their plank position, they'll yell go, and the next person in line will hop up and run to the end of the line. Once you have made it through the whole class, everyone will flip around into a sit-up position. You'll do crunches following the same suit. The end person hops up, runs to the end of the line, goes down, starts doing crunches. The next person, same thing. Once you've made it through the whole class, you have completed your assignment. See how quickly you can make it through this rotation. I would love to see who is the fastest 5th grade class. Good luck, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.